Evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Safe Space Between Us. I'm your host, Kieran, and we've got our lovely three members of the team with us today. We'll go around and say hello. Hello, Lee. How are you today?
Hi, all right. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm good, thank you.
We can make Carrie. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Had a heavy weekend, but I'm all good tonight. So all ready, raring
Heavy.
to go.
And Patricia, new member. How are we?
Very good, thank you. Hi all.
Hello. So obviously we got Nicola involved and a couple of others, but unfortunately they can't make it tonight. So today's the home team, the brand new home team catch up podcast. Just going to check in on everyone, check on each other, because obviously we care about each other's well-being and mental health as well. And then we've got a few topics to discuss. So let's start off with checking in. How's everyone's week been? Let's start with Patricia. Patricia, how's your week been?
It was well, more or less okay until some people decide to judge me for who I am. But it
What do you mean,
happens.
people judging you who you are? Who do we have to deal with?
Because I have gone through abuse or whatever, and I was brought up with abuse and what have you, I always ended up being who I was expected to be instead
Hmm.
who I really was. So when I came out of the last abuse relationship I was in, and that was the worst one ever, I promised myself that I was going to stop masking that way. I was going to stop not being myself. And and I'm a person that I have really strong views. I'm quite strong or whatever. But on the other hand, I also promised myself that I will only show my softer side to certain people, not everyone,
Yeah.
because when I had done it before, I had got hurt, right? And then all of a sudden, and it hasn't been the first time, it's been a few times that people judge me because I got my opinion, because I'm strong, because, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's almost like women go to the kitchen almost, kind of thought.
Mm.
And it's almost like, don't judge the book until you read it.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I'm saying, Patricia. Like, I know it's hard because I'm one who worries about people judging, but you be proud of who you are. For me, you've been amazing support with a safe space already. You seem a lovely lady and you mean well. So just forget those people. People don't deserve our friendship, I'll say. We're here to support people, but it doesn't mean we have to be friends. I know it's hard how people treat you and the stuff you've been in the past, but it's just try and
Yeah, but
like.
I came back home today crying. My son told
Mm,
me, right? I'm trying to teach my son to don't make the same mistakes I did. I'm trying to teach my son to be strong, to be himself against whatever anyone says, I will have you. And you have to add to all of this the autism and the ADHD, right? Which is very difficult. I've been masking for 52 years. I stopped masking altogether. So it's going to be difficult to get to a place where, it's only been, and when you have people that, without getting to know you from your circle, they are making comments that they are quite uncalled for when they don't really know you. It's like, no.
yeah, I get that. What's your lead or Curry? What's your views on that? Like, with me, I think I've learnt to disconnect of my so-called circle, and I believe you guys are in my circle now, apart from not many other people. But Curry, what's your view on that?
I'm the same. I mean, I've been in abusive relationships, the same as Patricia, and I was very much a people pleaser and wanted everyone to like me and all of that sort of stuff. And I think I have got to a stage now where actually I don't actually care, and I really don't. And it's surprising me really, because I was very much, as I say, just wanted everyone to think that I was really lovely and all the rest of it. But I think I've just gone through so much that now I've got to a point. I am who I am. If you don't like it, then don't be around me. It's as simple as that. So I am quite resilient in that respect. It kind of washes, goes over my head or whatever if people say stuff. Sometimes, obviously, sometimes I.
But that's what I mean. Because normally I'm like, whatever, right? When it is people that I don't really know. But when it's people that I see a lot and I have a relationship kind of way, friendship, whatever, that today it caught me out of, maybe I was having a low day. I don't know. But I was like, whoa.
The thing is, I'm a bit like Kieran in as much that I, had people around me for years just because they were in my life from day one, and I felt compelled and the loyalty thing that they had to be in my life because they've always been there. But I've really had to, and I think I spoke to it when we did a podcast before, but lockdown, I think, really made me think about my circle and who I wanted to be close with and who actually mattered and who didn't. And when I was going through my toughest times, like who actually was really there. And a lot of the time it was people that surprised me as opposed to the people that have been there in my life. So I'm very picky now with who I have in my circle. And I haven't fallen out with I have fallen out with a couple of people because of it. But generally, I just remove myself as opposed to having an argument with anybody. And I think for my own sanity and knowing that I've been through phases where I've hit rock bottom and realised that actually the only person that has ever been there is myself, really. That's kind of opened my eyes up and made me realise that actually, that you are the only person that's going to be with you 24/7. So you have to be around people that
Patricia.
You're totally right. Because the other day when Kieran said about his family, when you were speaking about your family, the other day, Kieran,
I was just going to say something about this.
I have actually blocked my brothers. My brothers are blocked on my phone. Both
And that's the way to do it. Is because I see what you're saying. Because what you're saying, what you went through today, I get it. Because Carrie and Lee, for example, and the people behind me in my house, Emma and the kids, is you Carrie and Lee, you'd be the first to say how many times you told me to just don't worry about the people around my community who judging the small minority and that. And it's only got to me. Don't get me wrong. Something gets said tomorrow, it might hit me, but it's only got to recently last week for me to say, you know what, it's only a small minority, and if they're only hating on me because of what we're doing, and we're making a difference and stuff like that. Let them be jealous. We still support them. It doesn't change anything to support them. And I know it's hard because I went on a rampage and moaning and criticising. It's very hard. But I think that's like Carrie said, you then realise who is actually there for you when you're down and stuff.
With me, I think it's more, with the domestic abuse, people that knows everything I went through. Because my ex-partner hasn't got 26 years in jail because I went, through next to nothing, right? And certain people knows exactly everything that happened. And for them to question me as a woman and certain things, just because I'm aggressive and I'm flirty and I'm bubbly or whatever, doesn't mean I'm going to shock any man, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what but when you are a single woman, that's what people think. I don't know why. They think like you want to go out there and like say
not everyone.
And no,
Lee, do you think that? Here we go. Lee, do you think that? I don't.
No, but it was said between lines that, and not to me, to somebody else, to one of my friends, that because of the character of who I am, if they take me out, that's what I will do. I will just throw them.
It's like they automatically think you're going to be after their husbands just because you're not with anybody.
No.
It's ridiculous.
A man said this. If I take her out, he's going to eat me alive. And I'm thinking, you don't really know me, darling. Because as a person, as a friend or whatever, I can be whatever. But if I'm going out with someone on a date, I'm the lady, he's the man. You know what I mean? That's who I am.
If this makes you feel better, Patricia, I would definitely not be messing. This man here would never mess with you. Like I'm scared already. Like I'm just saying. Like
no. But the thing is, it's not about that. But it's about someone that knows that you have gone through domestic abuse and the level of domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Doing that kind of comment to one of my best friends is totally and utterly disgusting.
And this is what a safe space to be between us is about: is breaking that stigma, breaking that silence, and shutting those people down and educating them. That's what we're about here. And Patricia, we're with you. We're with you. Don't worry, you can run here. Lee,
Yeah.
what was the topic you wanted to discuss today about, mate? Let's focus on your next topic and let's have, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to talk about quickly just about fixed term and growth mindset because it's a session I do with the young people I work with, and I think it's just a key in the way that we move forward in life because we get stuck in our fixed term mindsets, then it's hard for us to move forward. We tend to stay stale or move backwards, and I notice like with everyone, fixed term mindset is more. It's more easy to revert back to in adulthood. Because it's an easy way of moving back. So for people who don't know, like fixed term mindset is all the I can't do it, I'm not good at this, it's good enough, it's too hard, I'm afraid of making mistakes. Where your growth mindset is a way of pushing yourself forward to be the best version of you can be. So I've got a couple of fixed term mindsets, thoughts that people have, and I'm going to ask you guys to think about what you could say in a growth mindset way. So we'll do a little.
You didn't tell us this. Go on then. We'll let Kerry go first on answering the first one.
So instead of thinking that I can't do it, what can you think instead in a growth mindset way? So you fix term mindset.
I can fucking achieve anything.
Right.
That's the first time I've heard her swear.
Put that in the first one just to trip you up because can is a command word. So that's an expectation word. So by putting that expectation on yourself, if it goes wrong again, you feel even more lower because you've told yourself you can really do it. So when it doesn't happen the first time round, it can make you feel even worse. So instead of thinking I can do it, it's I'm still learning, so I keep trying.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so I put that one in,
didn't I?
Don't worry, the young people I work with, everyone writes down can straight away, so you're not the only one. Another one
Patricia, you're next.
No, you are next.
Okay.
Excuse
Thank
me.
you for getting out of it at the end. He'll change the subject before it gets to him.
Go on then, Lee, go on.
I'm not good at this.
I will try my best to be good.
Kind of. It's what can I learn to get better? So again, it's all about the learning process because that's what you just got to keep telling yourself. I'm still learning and stuff. Another one is one that we all think of quite a lot. Is, I'm afraid of making mistakes.
Patricia?
I will learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, pretty much bang on. Mistakes are how I learn and get better. So we've got to keep telling ourselves it's okay to make mistakes. I think
you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, we beat ourselves up quite a lot when we make a mistake, but by learning from a mistake, that's how you grow, really. So yeah, that's just basically really what I talk about. And it was just to say we've all got growth mindset in us because we've all had it from birth. Because when we're first born, we don't just come out walking. And what happens when a baby learns to walk? They crawl, stand up, fall over, get back up and carry on. Fall, get back up and carry on. So we do that from such a young age, but as we fall into adulthood, because we know the world's a big scary place and that, a lot of fears creep in and holds back our growth mindset. So I just want, if people ever feeling in that state, just to take a step back and have a think to help improve themselves.
So it's in my household, with the same topic, in my household, like I have stopped the word, we're not allowed to use the sentence I can't. Yeah, we never, like, I've had enough of that sentences, like my girls do dancing and stuff. And sometimes one of them might say, I can't, no, Dad. No, it's not you can't. Like, it's not acceptable, not can't you try. Well, you at least try your best. If you lose by trying, it's happy days, but you don't say I can't, because if you're going with that mindset, you of course you're not going to be able to do it. So those kind of things we do in our household is like, we're not allowed to use the word I can't.
It's like with the food, right? You know, when the kids are little, right? And when I was little, I was made to eat everything, right? And it was always, I don't like it. I can't eat it. I can't, right? What I did with my son was, there is no I can eat it. There is no, you try it. And once that you try it, if you don't like it, then you don't have to eat it all, but you have to try it. at least you try it. So it's I cannot eat it. It's try, and then we'll see. You know,
I
so
tried
you
that
put
with my
another.
son. Didn't work.
Oh no! It didn't work. He didn't eat it, but at least he tried it. So the rule now is always been, because when we went to Spain, even if I cook Spanish food at home, when you go to a restaurant in Spain, it's totally different than what you do at home. And he has always known I will try, but if I don't like it, then I can push it away. But at least I will try. I will have the manners to try, not to say no, I don't like it. Because it's yellow.
Yeah, I'll get that. But it's just, Carrie, like, what kind of, like, adding on to what Lee was talking about, what kind of, like, growth mindsets, I don't know, do you have in your life? Like,
I think I am always quite a positive person anyway. So not saying that there's things that don't hold me back. What are you laughing for? I'm trying to have a serious conversation here. I'm trying.
Go on, crack on.
I actually am, despite what Kieran thinks. I am quite a positive person. So I'm always trying to look for the good in stuff as opposed to the bad stuff. So when they say, glass half full or half empty, I would say that I'm always full. So I do try to look at the bigger picture as well. So, and I think because I've done a lot of work on myself with various sort of areas of my life as well, I don't react to anything as much now, whereas before I would. So I'm very much, I think it might be difficult, and I've still got barriers where there's things that I want to do that I haven't been able to do because of that fear factor. But every day I feel like I'm striving towards that, and I do a lot of sort of mindset stuff as well. I write a journal. I write a journal and I just put positive affirmations and things like that in as well, and I do that on a daily basis. And although it sounds something really quite slight to do, but actually it's made a huge amount of, for me, it's made me feel so much better, and I've got so much more of a positive outlook because of it. I think it's a small step.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
After everything that you went through with the domestic abuse and everything else, have you found that doing the training to help other people and helping other people that has gone through the same thing is making you much stronger and resilient and deal with everything much better?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's always going to be difficult conversations, isn't there? And even though I've done a lot of work on myself, I still find there's things that I come up against that come out of the blue, things from the past and all of that sort of stuff. So I don't feel like it ever really goes. But I do think talking about it obviously helps. And I think from my point of view as well, because of what I've gone through, I've always very much found kind of inspiring other people and realizing actually you can go through all of that stuff. And because I literally lost everything went, my house, obviously, the whole lot, difficulty with court and all of that sort of stuff. So I'd really hit rock bottom. And so the fact that I feel like I'm doing something to help others to try and hopefully, if not prevent them from going through that, from my experiences and telling them what I've been through, just trying to give them, the opportunity to be able to make better decisions. Because when you are on your own, you literally, you have so much to deal with, don't you? Like you say, your kids, the abuse itself and trying to process everything, that it's just so hard to have somebody there that can kind of understand it and can help you along the way. I think obviously will help them a lot, but it also helps me as well, because I wish that I had that person. I wish that I had that person that was there with me, because nobody really understood it. And when we were talking about people and how they're quite judgmental because you've gone through abuse as well, and there's very much that victim mentality of victimization, in the fact that they kind of make you feel as though you deserve it a little bit. You've made really ridiculous decisions, and especially if it's happened again, like more than once, because I was in because of my childhood and stuff, that led me on to abusive relationships. So I never really knew what a good, loving relationship was. So I didn't really notice the signs. And
you do now here at a safe space between us, though. Sorry.
I understand you, because I have the same kind of upbringing and the same kind of stuff when I was little. I have done regressive therapy and all of that. And I'm doing trauma therapy now. And what I'm learning is that unless I deal with all of the stuff back there, every person I'm going to choose is gonna have the same characteristics as my mom,
Exactly.
because that's what I know how to handle, because I've been handling
and
all my life.
and it feels safe, although you
Yes.
know cognitively it's not safe, because all these things are kind of triggering you, but there's also, because it's so familiar, that is what you're attracted to,
Yeah,
because
but
your
it's
body
the-
feels
it's the-
safe because you're in that environment, because it's
It's the
the only thing
question
you've known.
it's the question of people, like people saying to me, but you are really strong, but you were a manager for the NHS, but blah, 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 blah. How the hell that happened to you? And I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's why. Because narcissists don't go to the little people that whatever, they go to the
No.
people that they can take all of the energy from.
Of course, they want to bring you down, don't they? They're so
Yeah.
insecure in themselves that they want to make you feel small, and then you're a bigger challenge. So you're up here and you're confident and you're all of these things that they're actually not, even though they come across like they are in a lot of cases. So it's like a big challenge to try and bring you down. So that when they've literally brought you down so much over a period of time, they do it slowly as well, don't they? It's not like,
Oh yeah, you don't realize.
if someone treated you like that at the beginning, you'd walk away straight away, wouldn't you? But it's not like that. At the beginning, it's all very much like they're the best things since sliced bread. The knight in shining armor's come along and all of those things, because they portray a character.
It's almost like, for what I have learned from my training, it's like, and I'm never going to do it again when I meet someone, right? It's like the more you tell them about yourself at the beginning, the worse it is, because they mirror it.
Yeah.
So
of course.
So they are like you. So
That's
you are
it,
like,
and that's
oh
what
my
attracts you
God.
in the first place, because you think they're like-minded and they've got all those similarities and stuff like that, and they ask you a lot of questions at the beginning, and you think it's because they're really interested in you, but actually they're like trying to think of ways that they can drag you down with that information later on. So yeah, it's very clever. They're very manipulative, and that is the thing, and that's what people
it's
don't understand.
unreal, because I actually I am helping part of the NHS to teach them how to look for the employees that go through stuff like this, because I couldn't talk about it, and the policy that they have, well, it's a piece of paper, right? More or less. And through COVID, I was going to work. He broke my front teeth. He cut my. I went to work and you could see that something had happened, right? And it's not like I work at the bottom. I was in meetings with the big managers of the hospital, and no one was doing nothing. And it happened that one day I have a meeting in another different hospital, and one of the directors of the hospital took me in the car. On the way back, my ex called, and I wasn't picking up the phone, and of course, because I don't want for him to start to scream at me in the car. And he said to me, no, pick up the phone. He started to scream at me in the car that I was doing whatever with the guy in the car, right? And the next day, that director that didn't know me from Adam said to me, I'm going to speak to your manager because they need to do something. And nothing was done. Because I'm strong, I can deal with it myself. That was the way they were seeing it.
I'd like to say though, sorry, used to, like, obviously it's very sad what you went through, but can I just say, like, banter aside, you two are amazing people, so be proud of how you've come out of. I know you still might go through dark periods, but be proud of how you're dealing with it and coping with it now. So we're proud of you, so be proud of yourself.
Thank you. I have found I one of those people that I always find the positive in a negative. I have always done it. That's what I did all the training. That's what I'm helping families, and why I have trained to help the children or the parents that go through stuff like this. Because if I'm helping other people to don't go through what I went through or have the help earlier, then I'm helping some kind of a step in there.
This is it, and this is where you've got to take the positive from everything, because I wouldn't have thought 4 years ago that I would be doing the things that I'm doing now in order to help other people. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be coming on here and doing all of those sorts of things. So I wouldn't have had the confidence to do it anyway. But they say, don't they, that whatever drags you down is what actually makes you in the end, and I really believe that it does. And as much as I wouldn't have wanted that to happen, in a way, I'm kind of thankful, because now I'm so much stronger. It's taken me a long time to get here. I'm in my 40s now. It's taken me a hell of a long time to get there.
Liar, only you're 40.
25.
I can see your face changing. I knew he was going to start again.
No, but you know what they say? Like, I believe, and I think Kerry, you're the one who kind of put it in my head, and Lee as well. Is when we first met, and people who are listening and do listen to this days or weeks or months or years down the line, is we've all met through this platform. It's because we've all been through a dark period of our life, etc., and we've all got a story to tell. And I have to say, I've learned from these guys is to realise I've got to where I am here today because of the shit I've gone through and the shit I've done as well. It's not all about what I've been through, it's the things I've done as well in the past. And it's like, I think it's led to me to believe what I'm supposed to be doing is doing this. People might think that's just a cliche or whatever, but I believe, I'm starting to believe that maybe it's a good thing in a way that you've gone through things so we can go out there and help and support others as much as possible. So I think every single one of us on this screen should be proud of ourselves, of the shit we've gone through and things. Listen, we all know, Saints, we've probably done negative things in the past, but it's how we've turned it around, and how we've turned it around is to go out there to help others and try and break that stigma, break the silence. And that the same topic though, to carry on the conversation, I was just bring up to the topic I wanted to talk about was tools. So let's go back to you ladies, like what kind of tools then in those kind of environment of what you went through and what you've been through, what kind of tools help you get through the day at times? Let's start with you, Patricia.
Well, it's difficult because what I was going through, right? The son of my father took my son from me, so I was even more rock bottom because the actual person that pushed me through everything in my life, it was taken from me. Which, don't get me wrong, it was a safe thing to do because it wasn't safe for my son to be here, right? But what I did every day because it's this thing that people says, oh, why don't you leave him? Well, it takes you 7 or 8 times to try to actually do it, to have the actual confidence to do it. I throw him out of the house 7 times and I have him back, don't ask me why. But anyway, but what it put me through every day was knowing that I was capable of getting out of it, knowing that I will be out of this. Being positive to myself, telling myself I can do this. Once I realized I have to do it, I have to find the strength from somewhere, I told myself every day, I can do this. I got to do this. Because otherwise I'm going to end up dead. So I got to do it. And I have to...
At least you've done that. Like you kept in that mindset of saying, I've got to do this. But you can do it as well. Did you... Like now, today, tomorrow, do you still have that mindset of knowing, like, sometimes you feel like giving up, but do you still say to yourself, I can do it? Like, as long as you're trying to change that mindset.
But it's what Carrie was saying about making things into positives and seeing this as, thank God it happened, because this is the weird thing, right? My son's father was an emotional abuser for both of us, right? So while I was going through this, my son was with him. He was emotionally abusing my son and me at the same time, right? So I left this guy. My son came back to me. His father he just went bananas, right? And actually that happening brought up us, me and my son, being able to break from his father's spell. So now is me and my son. My son has my surname now, has totally left his father behind. I have left his father behind. So it's now we are a different unit. So I don't have to think every day, oh, what's going to happen? Because I'm not the person I was. I don't want to be either, right? I am a much better version of who I was. Some days I am like, oh my God, but I don't think much about what has happened in the past because there's no point to think about it. That's the way I see things. It's no point to think about it because I'm only going to feel bad about what I have gone through. But that's gone. The new life is here. The new life is here.
Yeah.
And you go day by day. I take every day as it comes. I'm not thinking about next week, next month. I just take every single day. But the more I'm helping, the more stuff I'm doing. Before, it was, I couldn't go by myself to the street. I have such a PTSD that I always have to go be with someone. I couldn't take the bus by myself, stuff like that. Now I'll do it. So it's just.
No, well done. So you've made massive strides. You've made massive strides, and it's like, again, hopefully someone listening, they might be going through a similar thing what you've gone through, and they can see how you've turned things around. So, like, obviously, I want to say well done. So you should be proud of yourselves. Like, I know you're gonna have down days, but be proud. Like, even coming from me saying that, I'm never proud of myself. But you know what? I sit here and thinking, you know what? We should be proud of ourselves. Like, look what we're doing, like behind the scenes,
Why
in
are
our
you
own,
proud
in
of
our own
yourself?
thing, in
Why
our
are
own
you
things.
proud of yourself?
We'll come to me in a minute, Lee. What tools do you? Lee? What tools? Lee, what tools do you use?
Same
Wait
sort
till
of
again.
thing. Live for the moment. Like, you can't get yesterday back. Whether yesterday was a good or bad day, you're never going to get that back. So don't worry about yesterday, and you don't know what's coming tomorrow. So my day finishes at bedtime, whether a good or bad day, and I wake up in the next morning, and it's starting all over again. Also, changing the expectations I have on people. So a lot of the time, people will say someone speaks to you in a way they shouldn't, say they shout or something. You think to yourself, no, they shouldn't be talking to me like that. And you get yourself really angry. But changing the word shouldn't to rather or prefer. So I prefer they didn't speak to me like that. That lowers, you still feel a bit angry, but you can't feel as angry because you've lowered the expectation. So it's just lowering the expectations down on people. The way you expect people should be. And the last one, it sounds really stupid, but breathing. Because obviously, when we're getting angry, annoyed, stressed, or depressed, our heart rate increases. When our heart rate increases, our body thinks something's wrong, so then everything else starts. So we get ourselves into a panic. And just by taking the 5 or 6 deep breaths to slow our heart rate down, you just feel a lot more calmer, and then you can make more better decisions. So that's just the main thing.
Yeah. And I want to say, like, well, you remember me and you talking about that, about how it was changing our terms of the response, because you basically done. I think the first time we chatted, you asked me a few questions about that, and you know what, it put a light bulb in my head, and you're right, and it lowers the expectations, and good thinking of like, so basically when you go to bed, you've forgotten, when you wake up the day before, it's forgotten, is that what you're saying? Like, you move on.
Yeah, because like, even if you've had the best day of your life, you're never going to get that back. So even if you went back to that environment, it still ain't going to be exactly the same as the best day of your life was. So there's no point, because I know, like, when you get back off holiday and you sit there for a week after, you're like, oh, I really wish I was back on holiday because this time last week I was on the beach and all that stuff. But if you went back to that beach, it wouldn't be the same experience that you had the week before. So don't worry thinking it. Good and bad. It's just like live. And it took me ages to get around that, because obviously what I was going through with my wife and stuff like that, that's when my mental health deteriorated, and I was wishing things were back to the way they were before the stroke, because my wife's got a different personality now. It was like learning to love someone else and all that stuff, and that's what I kept getting stuck in my head. And my counsellor on the phone just kept saying to me, live for the moment. And I kept saying to him, yeah, but what if the moment's crap? What do I want to live for the moment for? Is crap. And he's like, no, what I mean by that is don't worry about yesterday and don't worry about what's coming tomorrow. And then once that finally got into my head, I literally go to bed. I can go to bed really annoyed with the day, but I will wake up feeling absolutely fine, because that's past now. It's about what's coming in the next hour, the hour after that, the hour after that. It's just getting through like that. And that's really helped me out. But it took me months to get into that mindset, because I just thought he was talking a load of rubbish to me. Because going back to what you were saying earlier on about if you've done the training, does that help you when you're feeling down or whatever? And I find it harder because I've done the training, because I've done my mental health training and my counselling training before I suffered with my mental health. So I was getting even more annoyed with myself because I understood what I was feeling, but I couldn't, and what I should have been telling myself, but I couldn't get myself out of it. I still needed that someone on the end of the phone.
Yeah, but now that you are a little bit or more out of where you were, when you think about it, that training helps now. Yes. So that's the thing. It didn't help there because you were in such a black place that no training will help you then. But now that you are much out of it, that training will help you to digest the stuff that is happening in a different way.
Yeah.
Because, for example, when I was doing my training, they asked us about different tools or whatever. So what I do is, I mean, usually my Facebook is full of photographs of my cats and my son, right? It's everywhere, right? But because I take photographs of all my good moments, and I put them out there. So next year, when Facebook says remind, you remind the last 5 years or 6 years or whatever, all of the good moments of those years will come up. So it's a reminder that, oh wow, I have had such a good moment. It's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like little
Lee,
tricks.
Lee, I just want to say though, because obviously going round, but you've done amazing. Like from me to you, I think you've done amazing, especially and your family of what you've been through and stuff like that, and your wife, and also as we've spoke before, even though it was your wife going through a lot, you was the one holding the fort, and people forget that it is hard for the person holding the fort. So like, I want to say like super proud of you, man. And well done.
Holding the fort. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, exactly. No, well done, mate.
Yeah,
well done.
It's really well done, because you were supporting your wife and your kids and keeping yourself together. That's a lot of hard work. You have to be really proud for that.
Yeah, and I will say as well, and I'm not jumping on this bandwagon. A lot of men don't get that respect, because a lot of men are dickheads. I've done stupid things and that, and a lot of men people forget that sometimes if the wife or the partner, and I know the women do it on a daily basis. So I'm just saying, but the men, those good men out there, like I just want to say, like Lee, you're a good role model of how you've kept that fort for years. So well done, man. Credit to you. Carrie, what kind of tools? Obviously, you spoke quite briefly about kind of things that help you. But what, like now, like tomorrow, if you have a bad day at work, what kind of things will help you?
I think for me, I agree with Lee about I was very much, I'd always look to the future and think about the what ifs, and if I do that and what will happen here and all of that sort of stuff. Well, I don't really stress about that sort of stuff anymore. It is just literally what's happening today, and that's it. But the things I do now, I think the good thing I think for me is that I now recognise when I'm feeling low or I'm feeling a bit fed up, and it appears to be no reason. I kind of look at myself and think to myself, well, what might that be? And I suppose I analyse it a little bit, but in a positive way, to sort of think, right, okay, well, what was that then? Why did I feel like that? And once you understand the feelings that you get, it's easier to deal with. So I think having that mindset and really analysing and sort of thinking, okay, well, I feel like that today. Like, why do I feel? What's happened? What's making me feel that way? And to understand it, I think is half the battle. And then you can think, okay, I get it now. Right, okay, okay, and then I can deal with that. And also the day-to-day things that I do. I've spoke before about meditation and stuff like that. I do that a lot. So every morning I try to do that, and I get up a lot earlier as well than I used to. I used to be very much like a busy life, in as much that I kind of created a busy life. So I'd be late for everything, and I'd get up to go to work, and I'd only have like half an hour to quickly, have my breakfast and then dash off to work, and everything was really busy and really manic and all of that sort of stuff. Whereas now I get up that little bit earlier. Even at the weekends now, I'm up by sort of 6:30, even, no matter what.
Was that the case? Was that the case all week last week?
I think I was a little bit later here and there. You're going to call me out, aren't you? You message me at ridiculous o'clock, and I'm like, he thinks I haven't got up.
Yeah, but the thing is, before I used to always be like that, and now I can be doing stuff, watching videos or whatever until 12 o'clock at night, because I do relaxation, ASMR before I go to sleep, because my PTSD stops me sleeping a lot. So if I relax before, and I find myself waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I wake up much better than I did before. I'm fresher. I'm like, let's go.
Same here, same here. Yeah, and for me, just by having that calm part of the morning, I get up before my son does. He's lastminute.com. He's always, last minute to get out of bed and then go to college and whatnot. But for me, it's like I've got roughly about 2 hours before I have to go to work, and I do my meditation, but I get up happier.
2 hours?
There aren't many days where I kind of get up and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do today or anything like that. I don't have those anymore. Not to say that I don't get the odd day where I'm feeling a bit fed up and all of that sort of stuff. But generally, I wake up much happier. And also as well, again, something really little, but even when you're having a bad day, there should be some little tiny thing that actually was all right today. And I try and remind myself of that. So before I go to bed, I'll be grateful for something, even if it's just, I don't know, I had a big glass of water today and I, felt refreshed myself or whatever, that way. But just something, it might be something really silly or seems as though it's something really insignificant. But actually to have that mindset where you think, okay, well today, I'm grateful for X, Y, Z, whatever.
Stop there. It's not I can't say that word. Say that word.
Insignificant.
It's not. we all, every human being out there, and we all got. And this is coming from me. And you know how moany I can be about myself. It meant something to you that day. So we got to stop thinking because it's insignificant. Say that word again for me.
Insignificant.
Because it might not be insignificant to me or to whoever.
I can say it.
Because we don't. Whoa! What was that? We don't judge here. Stop judging me, Patricia. No, but what I'm saying is I'm joking. Because of it might not. You might think it might mean nothing to me. To that day, it meant something to you. So this is what I was going to say. It's like everyone out there, and all of us has got to stop thinking, having that mindset of thinking. Because I do it a lot. Is today isn't been a good day because so and so might achieve something, but I've only achieved to do. I don't know. Joe Bloggs might have achieved a 10-mile walk, but I only achieved a 1-mile walk. We've got to start realising that 1 mile was better than yesterday of doing 0 miles. So to having that mindset. So let's not rephrase what you was going to say, please. It wasn't insignificant or whatever. Yes, it meant something to you having that glass of water, didn't it?
And this is the thing as well. I think for people that are really feeling really quite low at the moment, and I think it is important. It's the small steps. It's not the big gigantic ones that get you from A to B. It's like those small steps in between, and everything is an achievement. So it's about celebrating the little wins as opposed to the big massive things. And it does over a period of time. It's not instant. I know it wasn't for me, but just over a period of time, I'm just so much happier. And if I do get shit from other people, it, like I say, it just kind of bounces off. It doesn't affect me anywhere near the way it did. And I think it's by doing those smaller things that is what is making me that way now. I'm so much more calm. I don't react. I respond. I don't react. If there's something negative, I'll take my time and I'll think to myself, right, okay, I didn't like that. But rather than, going back at them or whatever, I'll take my time.
Let's put you on the spot. Let's put you on the spot, Carrie.
I got a Spanish temper, so you have to teach me that.
Carrie, let's put you on the spot.
The breathing.
Let's put you on the spot, as we're putting you on the spot a lot. So, have you had to sit back and think before you respond?
In my day.
No, I'm talking about with us here. With us here. I know you have. No, I just want to echo. Like, obviously, I think we everyone out there listening and eventually listens, and whoever ain't listening, and us as well, is those little things are big wins. I think, like for example, social media, and this will come to the next topic. I reckon social media will with us, we see things like people post things of, oh, I'm at Barbados. You might be only at Butlins, or you might be only in your back garden. Yeah, we got to stop trying to compete with people. At the end of the day, we just don't know what's behind this mask, what we all wear. So regardless if you're in a Barbados, we're driving that Lamborghini, and we're only in a mini metro. Is that a car, mini metro? That whatever. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that person driving a mini metro might be happier than that person in wherever. And those little achievements for me, it's like I've got to keep refreshing myself and telling myself is those little wins. For example, safe space between us and my children. My babies at the moment, yeah, and it's like, you keep reminding me, Kieran, we've only been 8 weeks today, and I just want to say, celebrating 8 weeks today. We've been going, we've only been going for 8 weeks, and I have to say, and this is credit to everyone who's been involved in the team from the start and involved in the team now, is you keep reminding me, it's like, Kieran, do you know how much we've achieved? Like, and it is like over 240 odd people. And when we say supported in like going into detail of signposting in whatever country in the world or whatever, ringing around councils and stuff like that. That's what we mean helping, like, and the things, the causes and charities and organisations we've helped and build awareness and just building a good, nice community. And I think those little wins are massive. And doing a 10-minute walk for me is massive. And the tools I kind of use is breathing techniques. Like, I never used to breathe, and at the start of it, I used to laugh at myself, thinking, "Oh my god, like I'm doing these breathings and stuff." Yeah, but do you know what? And I'll post it on for people later. There's a video on YouTube which I follow, breathing technique, and it's 10 minutes long. But do you know what? My daughters even do it with me sometimes, and when I've done it every morning and evening, I felt so refreshed. I felt so good, and that the last couple about a week and a half, I've not done it, and I need to start get back into it because I've realised, oh my god, it's breathing techniques that I've stopped, and that's the change that's changed in my life at the moment, which is having a massive effect in my mood swings and stuff. Journaling, people say is good. I can't. Me personally, maybe it's because I'm a man or whatever.
But you know what is good? What I ask the people I help, men and women, because I help men and women that have gone through abuse, not just women, right? After they have gone through it, right, and they have left and they feel like this, every night have a book at home, right, like a paper booklet or whatever, right, and every night put one good thing about yourself and one good thing that has happened that day, and the next night you do the same thing. It has to be different. And then on the Sunday you read every single thing over the week, and then the second week you do the same thing, but on the Sunday you read the 2 weeks. And you cannot believe how powerful that is to build people up.
You can also do that as well. Something I came along with as well was something similar to that, and basically, again, maybe something that you've achieved, no matter how big or small, and then you just write on a piece of paper and stick it in a jar, and just keep adding to it for the month. Yeah. Just keep popping it in. And then when you're having a bit of a shitty day or whatever, you can think to yourself, actually, do you know what? I might have a little look on there. And it just reminds you of all the things that you have actually achieved. Because we're very quick, aren't we, to be down on ourselves and think we're not good enough and we haven't done this today, or we didn't do what we said we were going to do yesterday. So now I feel like crap because I feel like I've let myself down and all of that sort of stuff. So by putting things in like that, that's really positive.
You have to keep reminding yourself of how good you are. Instead bringing yourself to, oh my god, that was shit, oh my god, that my day was, you have to keep reminding yourself of all of the good things. That's what I always say to you. Maybe, you know, when you say, oh yeah, because last year, excuse me, okay. It's like I said to you, maybe last year you were where you were, right? But that's last year. You have to think about how good you are now, how positive your life it is now, how the relationship with your children now is much better than it was because you are in a better place. You know what I mean? That's what the things that you have to remember now and think about now.
Exactly. No, don't keep going back.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And what would I do?
No, I agree. And it's just like, I think, like, I'm for one who is always needs to be reminded. And I put my hands up, and I'm very grateful for everyone on the screen, and Carrie and Lee, especially over the last few weeks. Like, you've kept me through going because of obviously the fundraising, the gardening, and stuff like that. And I've always thought, oh, I'm not doing good enough, I'm not doing this. And to be fair, you've made me realise that, you know what? And today, like, I'm cool. Like, I am bloody proud of myself. I'm proud of everyone involved in the safe space between us, because we've achieved much more than sitting on our asses doing the talk. We're talking and got the action, and that's what it's about. And I think slowly we have break the stigma. My goal was, if we can save one person out there, I believe we've saved many out there. We've had the emails we've had, the comments, and it's not for the walls of thank yous. It's just look, I'm still learning about myself, and people like these on the screen, people who seek support, people who come on the podcast. I take little bits of tools, what they tell me, and I use them. And I think anyone out there, even though breathing techniques, for example, might look stupid, try it. Don't put it down to you. Try it, because it might benefit you. And leading to the next topic, go on.
I was just going to say as well, and don't necessarily expect results instantly either.
No, exactly. Yeah.
They do it for like a few days, and they're like, "Well, this is a load of rubbish. It didn't help me." Sometimes you might have to do it a few months, in order for something to happen, and then all of a sudden you'll kind of wake up one morning and think, "Oh God, that's really made a difference." Now, for me, with the meditation stuff, it took me months and months to be able to get into it and for it to actually have any effect on me. But now, like I say, super chilled.
Yeah, and just coming to the last topic.
My son laughs at me because I do all of this relaxation and stuff at night. Stop it.
Hey, I heard him. We're live. Carry on shouting at the background. Tell us more. Tell us more.
He just came back home. Now, if you ever see a 6'3" with pink hair out there, boy with the pink hair out there, that's my son.
Hello. We love pink. It's good. Pink's my favorite color.
He always laughs at me for doing that. But I always say to him, but the positive that brings you. Because if I'm not wind up and angry, it's good for you. So just let me.
Carrie, next topic was you mentioned. What was the topic you wanted to discuss today?
I was just going to discuss. I haven't really got anything, specifically to say or anything, but just
not done your homework, basically.
Well, you just bring it on me this evening.
Too busy, partying all weekend. Last 4 days in a row drinking.
I went to him last week. I said, don't book anything in for me on Sunday. Wait till after the weekend. And what does he do? He books in about 3 things for me this evening.
Excuses, my lady.
Well done, Patricia. Patricia, you're my number one now. Go on, Carrie.
No, don't do that.
Lucky I don't take that notice, isn't it, really? It's lucky I don't take any notice of him.
Go on. What's the topic?
All I was going to say is about media and whether we think, because obviously there is still stigma, as we know, a lot of stigma out there about mental health. But I wondered whether anyone can see the positive of what's been out there with mental health, or whether you think it's actually making people worse, because obviously there's a lot of scaremongering out there, isn't there?
Can I start?
Yeah, go on then.
No, carry on, but can I answer after you?
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say, I do, now I'm getting older, I've realised I actually like listening to the news, but also as well, the impact that it actually has as well. If you're already in that mindset where you're feeling a bit crap or whatever, then to listen to all the doom and gloom and stuff that's on the the news and chat shows and all of that sort of stuff, everything's all about scaring. Even AI, isn't it, and all of that sort of stuff. My God, we're going to be extinct.
Love AI. AI guys. Yeah, AI is my. But listen, just to add to that though, Kerry, I love this topic. I think me and Lee's had deep conversations regarding this about media. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of done this, because I think us society, I believe we're all sheeps. So we look back, and I know this is changing, it ain't changing the topic slightly. So we quickly mentioned lockdown. When the media say go out and clap the nurses and etc., we all went and done it. The media stopped. We don't do it anymore. It's like we have no respect now for the NHS, etc., blah, blah, blah. Regardless of what we think of individuals, but the NHS they do work their asses off.
You know what people of the NHS we thought when people goes outside clapping. You know exactly what we thought.
What?
No, people shouldn't be out there clapping. They should be asking the government to actually do something for us.
Oh yeah, of course, and that's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying, though, Patricia, is we're all sheeps. This is what I'm saying. Going back to, and I agree with you, but it's because the media say something, we all jump. And I've come in the last year to realise I like to keep involved watching the news, but the news that on normal TV, I refuse to watch anymore, because it's only going to tell you what it wants to tell you, what it wants us to follow, and it is. I think a lot of mental health problems is because of the media. It's because media, regardless Philip Schofield, regardless what anyone thinks Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and have my opinion on it or whatever. We're entitled for our opinions, but I'm not going to sit here and say mine. But it's we just don't know. The media have just dragged the whole situation on. Yeah, did he have underage sex with a child? Yes or no? That's what I care about. If it's a no,
Yeah.
then move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the police, let whoever, if it's a serious, let them deal with it. Move on. Caroline Flack, who I keep bringing her up, the media and us, or not us here, trolls, keyboard warriors, killed Caroline Flack. The media done that. It's because of jumping to conclusions and stuff like that, and not actually realising actually how harmful are we putting out there to the world or to the country is going to impact her. And then 2 days later,
it's the thing that you see something. Well, it's people that sees something on the media, and they think that they know the person personally, and they have this. Oh yeah, because they shouldn't have done that. Well, you don't know everything, right? With the Philip Schofield, I mean, I got my idea, but I'm not going to say it either, right? They have brought it round and round and round, but they haven't thought about the poor guy that is listening to all of this. No one is thought about what he's doing to that guy, that he was already going through mental health problems when all of everything totally jumped up and he lost his job and everything else. Everybody's jumping in the back wagon of Philip Schofield, but no one is thinking, what's happening to the other guy?
And this is what I'm saying.
What us talking around is going to do to this poor guy?
The media, and a lot of us, like even myself in the past, we don't actually realise we might be ranting and raving about Philip Schofield for something, but what consequences is it going to have on the other party? But also on Philip. Listen, I'm just using Philip Schofield here, and I apologise to his family and anyone out there if you ever do listen to Safe Space Between Us. If you do, please give us an email. But anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, it's just like the effect on his mum, the effect on whatever. It's like at the end of the day, every one of us sitting here today will have a different opinion or a similar opinion or whatever. Yeah, but we will never know the truth.
No.
The media will never know the truth. Like you'll only know what you want to believe. The only people going to know the truth is a little circle of people, and it's like
the only people that knows the truth is him and the boy. That's the only people who's going to know the truth. Nobody else. And
maybe one or two out there, maybe, yeah. But the real truth is it's between them. If he hasn't, I'm just saying this. If he hasn't done anything, yeah, maybe he groomed him. Who knows? Whatever, yeah. If the police, let the police deal with it. Let the police do their job. If the police think that's the case to look at, then let them do with it. Yeah, because us plastering over Facebook and stuff like that isn't going to get him arrested. Isn't going to make him get better. Isn't going to make the boy get better or anything like that. It killed Caroline Flack. It's killed many other people. And this is what I say sometimes. And I've done in the past. I've been a bad arsehole where I've put bad things on Facebook, and then I've realised, shit, man, someone reading that could hurt someone. And it's like, I think everyone and the media, we've got to stop listening to media. Just quickly I want to talk about one football player, and like football was my thing, like Jack Grealish, right? For me, right? I think the media, for example, slate him, and lucky enough,
explain to me who is he.
Jack. No, I'm just say he's a football player, but I just
fair enough. But who? Where did he play? And tell me what happened, because I don't have a clue.
All right, so what I'm saying is, right, so he got bought for a big 100 million, yeah, to Man City, right? He plays for England, and plays for Man City, but the media and the people on Facebook, he's this and that, and then on his summer holiday, we've got to remember we're all human. On his summer holiday, he's out partying, drinking, blah blah. He's not doing drugs, or as far as we know, he's drinking. Yeah, partying, polite to everyone, does a lot for disability children out there and stuff like that. And the slating we got, and the effect it had on him, because you could see it in his performance. And I think his manager come out and said, like early last year, like UK media, like it's really bad. You need to get off his case, etc. And then, regardless of how much he's worth or whatever, that's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with Lee. It's nothing to do with Kerry. It's nothing to do with Patricia. Yeah, it's business. Football's business. I'm just using football as an example at the moment. but it doesn't give us the right. These celebrities, and don't get me wrong, there are some idiot celebrities, idiot football players who in our faces and stuff like that, but it doesn't make us right. If I got offered a contract for 100 million, man, I'm taking it. Like, does that mean I deserve to be judged even more? Regardless, I don't think so, and I just think the media they pick and choose, and I don't think the media do enough to help with mental health. There's no conversations or
But
section about.
it's what you said there. Pick and choose.
Exactly.
Pick and choose. It's not
It's because it doesn't sell.
everybody. Exactly.
Good,
It's
good
about
news
what it
doesn't sell.
sells.
No,
It's
it's
a,
true.
You know?
media's a business. So again, good news doesn't sell. Like you said, with Jack Grealish, you go on TikTok, you see all the great stuff he does for charities and all that. That's not being there in the newspaper because no one's going to want to read about that. And
But that's the thing. But that's the problem, and it comes back to society then and us, the people. Yeah, it's because we need to wake up.
Media, so we let the newspaper know what we like. If they put an interesting story in, that's good and happy. No one buys the newspaper. They know that doesn't sell, so we'll put something bad in, sell millions of copies. So they're going to keep printing that because we're telling them what we read, and we're telling them what we're buying. So
Yeah.
Gossip sells at the worst.
But I would rather. I don't buy those papers anymore. I would rather buy a paper full of happy news that's going to put a smile on my face. Yeah, than worrying about bloody whatever. Kyle Walker slept with this person. Good on him. Well done. Yeah, that's his problem.
I had the email, with the newspapers and the middle links sometimes, and this has happened and that has happened or whatever, right? And I remember a couple of times I have been there. I'm like, oh my God, somebody else is nice, somebody else. Oh my God. And in the end, I have stopped receiving it because it's like, I'm doing something on my phone and all of a sudden, all of the things keep coming and I'm reading horrible things. And it's like, oh, and all of a sudden you feel like, ooh, really, and it's like, I have to stop receiving these links. And it's just the top of the email, like this has happened, read it or whatever. But I'm like, enough is enough now. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And this is going to probably hate, and I've been messaging the local news shopper, but I'm going to say it. I think that the news shopper and many other papers, but I'm going to say the news shopper because they're the ones I've been trying to reach out to, is everything is negative, man.
I did email them as well.
If they don't want to, everything's negative though, Patricia. It's like, go and tell me something good news. Tell me something that's good going on in the community. Regardless, forget safe space between us. Let's park a safe space between us. Go and tell me a child has done brilliant at school today, or go and tell me that someone lets a lady on the bus and helped her with her shopping or something. Stop telling me that there's been stabbings and that. What are you doing about it then? If there's been stabbings, with the local newspapers, with the worldwide newspapers, countries, go and do something about it. Do big campaigns and stuff. You're not. Yeah, it's a handful of people. It's like they need to relax.
6 months ago, a guy was gunned down in Erith. Yeah, and it's actually someone that I know. And the news shopper, right, was doing a live with the guy's phone where the guy had been killed, right? And the guy was going around the neighbors and asking people or whatever when the guy had been killed, right? I emailed them and I said, listen, right? I know this family. They're already going through enough. Do you really think it's ethical? It's got any morals? You asking the neighbors, the people in the streets, why has he been killed? What has he done? Making it that it's his fault. You are not the police. You don't know nothing. Leave things alone until something comes up. And they kept going on and on. And they were going every day with their telephone, recording. And it's like, please, people, stop it.
That's the thing, though, Patricia. Society, a lot of society, not everyone. I apologise if this don't go to you. A lot of people would be too busy thinking it's funny of picking her phone up, filming shit, going or commenting, like saying he must have deserved it or whatever. I've seen it in our local where people have been stabbed or whatever, and because the picture, because he might have done something in the past or because he might have dealt a bit of coke or weed or whatever, people say he deserved it. I'm sorry, do you actually believe that? No, I don't. And I just think we as society, we talk about the media. We're society do not have to listen to the media. Do not
Yeah, but
have to listen to the government.
there is
We need
also
to stand
people.
together.
There is also people that wants to be recorded, because a few months ago, living where I live, right? Because I don't live in the best place in the whole wide world. Right? I live in the worst place in Erith. They were fighting on my front garden, right? And I opened the door, and they were kicking a guy. Two guys, they were kicking a guy on my front garden, right? And I opened the door and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Blah blah blah. And he said to me, "What are you going to do? Put it on TikTok?" That was the first thing that came out from his mouth. No, are you going to call the police? Are you going to put it on TikTok? And I'm like, that's where society has gone.
Yeah. Listen, I could be all night and have a rampage over this. This is one strong topic that really angers me, because I blame us. I blame society. I blame us. I think we're not strong enough, or we're just sheep. We just choose the easy life of I'm going to watch that man boy get stabbed. I'm not going to try and stop it. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't care if I'm watching a young boy get beaten up, by a group of boys or a group of people. I ain't thinking about the consequences of what's happening to me. I am trying to protect that boy, because the way I look at it, I hope society does the same if it happened to my son. Yeah. And a lot of us in society think, oh, it would never happen to my son. Listen, stop living like that. Yeah. Stop living like that. But on that note, because I don't want to end on a downer, because I can be on a rampage on that, and maybe we can have another conversation and full podcast on this topic. But I want to say, firstly, thank you to everyone. I just want a quick 5 minutes to talk about what we've got planned, what we want to do. Firstly, I want to say thanks again to everyone who's donated to the fundraising stuff and stuff like that. Again, we're doing everything we can. We're doing everything we possibly can to build awareness for loads of different causes and charities. This month, or this week, this month, the next few months, it's focusing on. So the list we've broken it down, and we're going to focus on a small portion of amount of time. Carrie's Helping Hand, who unfortunately Carrie passed away with a tumor, wasn't it, Carrie?
Yeah, her name's Caris. Yeah, Caris Helping Hand. Yeah.
Caris.
Yeah, Caris.
Yeah. To tumor, and unfortunately, but her parents done an amazing thing, opened a great cause charity to help families and children out there. So we want to do as much as we can for them. And young local Sander, who everyone local knows about, and I think the locals raised plenty for him years ago, but obviously he's still going through a lot of medication and stuff. And we were approached, I was approached and just said, can we help out? So why not? We are not sitting here asking for donations and saying please donate and sitting on our bums. We're not like that. As people know, we've done so much already: 24-hour podcasts, bucket challenges, roast the host, quiz nights, litter picking, and so much more. Gardening, which is non-stopped. And we're still this week, I'll continue to do it. But I want to say again, and I keep saying this, even though you see me doing the gardening, I couldn't do the gardening without the team behind me. So I want to say thank you to the team as well, for allowing me to go out there and help others and do whatever. But listen, challenge 1 was done, Peanut Head. And regardless if I look like a brand Mr. Burns or whatever,
Peanuts. Chocolate peanuts.
Peanut, I've done it, and I'll tell you what, every time I read that, and people are going to call me Sado, every day I look at that page and I read the stories from both, and it gets me hard. Like, I just think, if you've got a heart out there, please just share. If you can spare a couple quid, please do. We are working our bums off. Within the next week or two, and it will be no longer than a week and a half, I'll say, the next challenge is I'm going to be doing a walking and running challenge, walking/running challenge for 9 hours, dead or alive. I'll complete it.
I will be there with pom-poms.
Yeah. So we'll get the date out there. We'll sort it out with the team, and I will do that. We've got loads of other things. We've got the skydiving to finally sort out a date, and the Mount Snowdon. I did have throw a few ideas as well, where hopefully with enough planning. I don't know if I've told my team. I ain't told my team this. So breaking news. Dun, 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 dun. With a date we can organise. One of the two things is going to happen. Option one, and not maybe we let the members vote. Option one, we are going for these two great causes. We are going to do boom, 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 boom. I forgot the word now. Oh my god!
Amazing. He's
Um,
forgotten it.
Boom, but he was
What's
going
the
boom,
word?
boom, boom,
What's the
boom.
word? You know when
You didn't
when
tell
the
us.
men, when a group of men, and then
Full
Oh, full
Monty.
Monty.
full Monty. Well, option one's full Monty. Yeah.
Lee, did you know about this? So you dragging Lee into that?
Option one, full
Have
Monty.
you asked Kema?
Lee, you don't have to do it. I'll do it. It's Lee. Me and Lee are in. So option one is a full Monty, and obviously, listen, I would never skydive. I would never do the full Monty, yeah. But for these courses, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I'll do whatever it takes. And if it means to get my little peanut out or little cocktail sausage out, I'll do it. Yeah. I'm sorry, but also skydiving. I'm scared of planes. I'll do it, and that's option one. Option two is a fashion catwalk show, which I'm in discussions with a few ladies and stuff, but where we can design either, obviously, ladies, if you join in, you can obviously cover your bits on your body, but where we can either just paint our body in certain ways by a certain artist or wear something to support the two causes, but also mirror what we're about as well, like breaking stigma, mental health and stuff like that. So they're the two options.
I thought he was going to say to us that we needed to save our head. I was going to kill him because after I had the chemotherapy, I'm not cutting my hair again.
No, and listen, that is for you as well. When you went through chemotherapy, that is for you and for every man, lady out there as well. My spam head.
It was only last summer. I went through it last summer.
Well, and this was for you. I'm with you. I'm with you here. I'm with you.
Anyway.
No, but they're the two options. But obviously, it needs a bit of planning, which I'm aiming at the end of July, hopefully, to get
and
sorted.
The full Monty is you and who else?
Me, Lee, and I'll get a group of lads. I'll put it out there. There'll be plenty of people.
Yeah.
I'll just have to keep running back and forwards and come in different disguise.
Have you asked Kema?
Listen, if it's for calls, she's with me. As if it's for this calls and stuff or whatever calls, she'll back it. And it's like, listen, you can look but you can't touch. No, but listen. I just want to say again, like, so to everyone who listens, we've got those kind of things all trying to sort out, and there'll be an announcement with dates with the next big challenge coming up over the next day or two. I think the next one is going to be me doing a 9-hour walk, jog / challenge, and that challenge is without stopping. So dead or alive, it's happening. And on that note, I want to pass my thanks to these beautiful people on the screen, amazing people. You might not see or hear from them a lot, but I do say they make a safe space between us as you all listeners and members. Before I end it, a last word from everyone on the screen. Patricia, last word from you for tonight.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for listening to my babbling, and thank you for supporting me this afternoon as well.
No, listen,
I really needed that.
You're part of the family, and listen, it's like you even though you've been in a short space of time, you've made me laugh, you made us laugh, and you've got a good heart. So and you do a lot, not just here, but I can see a lot you're doing to try and make the world a better place and the area. So like I'm with you every step of the way. And listen, you can rent to us anytime.
Yeah, but I'm really thankful because for me, after everything I have gone through, to say something and have people supporting me like that, it counts a lot.
No,
It really does
I'll
count
get
a
that.
lot.
I'll get that. We're with you. We're with you. We're with you. Lee, last note from you.
Donate to the page and keep sharing it out. And have a good evening, everyone.
Yeah, and thank you, Lee, for everything you do, man. Carrie,
No worries.
PA, number one PA. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Go on.
Now, again, if you want to come on a podcast and chat to the lovely Kieran and maybe me sometimes and Lee and Patricia, then come on board. Just send me an email and we'll get it all.
And send that email, Safe Space Between Us, community@gmail.com. If you want your garden done, please email her. On that note, I will say the ones that are out of my area, I might start passing on, saying no, it's just too much for me.
My one is small.
I've got a company roof. I've got to do Lee, so I'll do yours at the same time. But I also want to say big thank you to people out there. I want to say big thank you to Mama's Jen's Bakes, who's on the screen here. She's been a lovely lady who's donated £5 from each cake sale, and she's adamant. I've told her no, but she's adamant that every cake sale she does for the next while, she's going to donate £5 from it. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you, because it helped the donation page and the causes as well. And if anyone needs support, there is support out there. If it's from us or not, please do speak. Speaking is good, and you will feel so much better. And I want to say much love and thank you. So on that note, this has been a safe space between us, and I have been your bald head peanut, Kieran, host. And I want to say much love. Peace out, peeps.